Published 10:34 Eastern Standard Time, the 2nd of January 2018. Updated 2100 Eastern Standard Time, the 2nd of January 2018. Theresa May faces losing half of the Tory-run London boroughs at the local elections, a Conservative peer warns today. Lord Hayward, an elections expert who worked for David Cameron, said the party is on track to lose Barnet to Labour and Kingston to the Liberal Democrats. Barnet, Margaret Thatcher's former borough, has never been controlled by Labour since it was first established in 1965, and he warned the Tories were in a fight for their lives in Wandsworth and Westminster, with both set to fall to Labour on a good night for Jeremy Corbyn. Such losses in May would see the Tories reduced to running just 5 town halls among the capital's 32. Theresa May, pictured in Maidenhead on Sunday, faces losing half of the Tory-run London boroughs at the local elections, a Conservative peer warns today. The Tories have been warned they are in a fight for their lives in Wandsworth and Westminster, with both set to fall to Labour on a good night for Jeremy Corbyn. File image. Mrs May is braced for a bruising round of local elections on May 3, less than a year after she was humiliated at the ballot box after calling a snap general election. Labour is now slightly ahead in most polls, and Mr Corbyn has spoken of his hopes for success at the local elections, which are also due to be held in Birmingham, Manchester, Leeds and Newcastle. Lord Hayward told The Standard today, nationally, the Conservatives appear to be getting themselves back together, so they may be in a better position come May to ease the losses, but they are going to have the fight of their lives to hold on to. Wandsworth and Westminster, on the evidence it looks like a bad night for them and a good night for Jeremy Corbyn. In London, across England, local elections will be held in all 32 London boroughs, 34 metropolitan boroughs, 74 district borough councils and 17 unitary authorities. The seats up for election were last contested in the 2014 local elections, just a year before the Tories won a surprise Commons majority. Mrs May's Tories are defending 1,302 seats and control of 41 councils, while Mr Corbyn's Labour won 2,062 seats and 78 councils last time. There are also mayoral races in Hackney, Lewisham, Tower Hamlets and Watford. Labour is now slightly ahead in most polls, including a 42-40 lead in a YouGov survey before Christmas. Pictured in interviews to mark the new year last week, Mr Corbyn said his regret for 2017 was failing to secure election victory in June despite an improbable turnaround in the polls that saw Labour surge from 21 points behind to run the Tories close on June 8, and he said he hoped for a continued success at May's elections with the parties effectively tied in most surveys. Mr Corbyn said, "Well, the biggest elections are going to be in the main cities, particularly London, Birmingham, Newcastle. We are going to be working very hard on them. In London particularly, they are going to focus on housing, but it's also emphasizing the way local authorities have been so underfunded by this government that they are all facing real difficulties that we are going to emphasize in the election. This is the product of 7 years of austerity. I'm hoping we do very, very well, but I'm not putting a figure on it." Lord Hayward, pictured in Parliament in October, an elections expert who worked for David Cameron, said the party is on track to lose Barnet to Labour and Kingston to the Liberal Democrats and could lose 2 more.